The headlines are loud right now. Power sale listings are on the rise. Distressed sellers are underwater, and you might be thinking, this is my chance to finally break into the real estate market, to scoop up a underpriced home or maybe a power sale. You buy it, you fix it up, you maybe rent it, maybe flip it. Either way, you score a deal to move up on the property ladder. I mean, it sounds amazing, doesn't it? A stressed out bank just wants their money back. You swoop in, solve their problem, and walk away with a bargain. Feels like a win-win. But what if I told you buying a power sale property could leave you holding the bag for someone else's mess? And not just a little cleanup. We're talking about thousands of dollars of cleanup. And we're talking about legal tangles, surprise bills, and a kind of stress that turns your dream home deal into a total nightmare. Sounds dramatic, but it's not, because these deals, they're not what they seem, not most of them. The listing price grabs your attention, the photos look decent, and maybe you're told this one's a steal. Everyone wants to be the one that snags the deal of the century. You know the stories. I'm pretty sure you heard them. You know, my cousin who bought a power sale for $150,000 under market value. And I know this one guy who picked one up and flipped it for a huge profit. I mean, yeah, there are wins out there. There really is. But what most people see is the jackpot, not the landmines. There are several landmines. And the truth is, power sale properties get treated like lottery. Everyone thinks they'll get lucky. Everyone thinks they'll be the exception. But the minute you skip a step, believe me when I say that, skip a step or ignore the red flags, you're not cashing in. You're cashing out with your own money. So today we're pulling back the curtain. I'm showing you the biggest risks in a power sale. And you may not even heard of these risks, and they're pretty substantial because what if behind that front door is a house with no heat, a seller that can back out at any time, and a lien from CRA, that's thousands of dollars. You can have one of those nightmares and make it on the 6 o'clock news. I'm Linda, one of the Ragona sisters, and we are breaking this all down. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe because I'm breaking down the power of sales' biggest risks. And you can frankly expose yourself to a money pit. Some are so explosive, they'll leave you very shocked. What is a power of sale? Quick refresher here because this term gets thrown around a lot. A power sale is a legal process in Ontario when a lender, like a bank, takes control of a property and sells it because the homeowner probably has missed a series of payments. So it's not a repossession. The homeowner still legally owns the home until the day it sells. But the lender has the legal right to list it and recover their money. And I just want to make this point very clear because some people actually get very confused. The seller, the person that's listing the home in the power sale, isn't the homeowner. It's the lender, like a big bank, a credit union, a private lender, trust companies, mortgage investment companies, pretty much whomever lent the money out to the borrower. And the lender does not have the buyer's back. Their goal isn't to be fair, honest, or helpful. Their only goal is to recover what they're owed. So, there's no emotion, there's no responsibility, there's no disclosure. So let's dive into what that means for you. Number one, as is, where is, and no disclosures. You may have heard this before. Sounds harmless. When you buy a typical home, there are usually some warranties or guarantees involved. Like the seller normally has a disclosure responsibility, like tell you if there's water damage, if the furnace is broken, or if there's something dangerous on the property. In a power sale, none of that applies. The bank doesn't have to tell you anything. You buy what you see and what you don't see. Mold, your problem. Leaky basement, your problem. Enjoy. Furnace dies the first day. Congratulations, it's now your furnace. Structural issues, it's in your hands. Zoning problems, figure it out. Nothing has to be disclosed. If you find it or not, you own it. Number 2, hidden liens. Yes, there could be liens on the property, unpaid taxes, utility bills, a contractor who never got paid. And if those liens aren't cleared before closing, they're yours. It's like an early birthday gift. That dream deal just became a debt trap. Number 3, CRA tax liens. This one's a spicy one, and this is the one that I didn't even know about until earlier this year. So let's say the former homeowner owed money to CRA. Sometimes these debts get tied to the property, especially HST. And CRA doesn't play nice. They are viewed as the superior party. They can still chase after the property even after it closes. Registered or not, it's complicated, but it happens. And we're breaking down a real court case in our next video where TD Bank thought it was in the clear and CRA swooped in and said, not so fast, pay up. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. Number 4, walkaway clauses. This one, for some reason, still shocks the buyers. Most power sale contracts give the lender, which is the party authorized to sell the home, the right to cancel the deal at any time before closing. Maybe the homeowner finally paid off the defaulted amounts to regain the home again. This happens, but not very often. And now the buyer at this point could have paid for an inspection, hired a lawyer, or even arranged financing. And then they got a phone call. The deal's dead, just like that. Your deposit comes back, but your time and the money spent on any legal fees or inspection, you still have to pay that. Now let's talk about a buyer who had a terrible experience with a power sale, which happened not to be too long ago, but every time I tell the story, people just get really stirred up. It actually started 2 weeks after the lady closed on her house power sale home. A white envelope taped to the front door appeared. It was the City of Brampton Municipal Enforcement. She thought it was junk mail, but clearly it wasn't. Inside, a notice of violation. Unpermitted construction, to be exact, unsafe new entry door, illegal basement apartment, and buried at the bottom, a pending municipal lien for outstanding compliance fines. She panicked. So she called her lawyer, and the lawyer swore the title search was clean. There was no issues. And technically, through their investigation, it was. The lien hadn't been registered yet when she closed, but the process had already been started. The city just hadn't caught up with the paperwork. So by the time it hit land registry, she owned it, unfortunately, which meant the lien was now hers, not the previous owner's, not the bank's, hers. That's when the real nightmare started. The as-is power sale home she thought she scored a deal is now bleeding her dry. So she had to fix the entry door because it needed to be redone. To meet code, the basement had to be reconfigured. The city actually gave her 60 days to remove the illegal basement apartment or apply for legalization, but the house didn't meet Brampton's zoning and fire safety standards. So legalization wasn't even an option. She had to gut the basement, remove the kitchen, and close off the second entrance. And every change came with new permits, new inspections, and more bills. And on top of that, once contractors started opening up the walls, they found water damage, knob and tube wiring because it was an older home, and black mold creeping up from the foundation. Every fix came with a new quote. Every inspection found something new. It was a total nightmare. By the third month, she spent well over $50,000 just to make the home safe and compliant. And she couldn't even sell it either because she had a lien still on the title. It took her almost a year to clear everything up, but she pretty much told me she would never buy another power sale. And every dollar she thought she saved, completely gone and then some. This is just one case. There are so many others, but there are also many cases of buyers getting a deal of their lifetime. Now, what do you do if you still want to pursue a power sale? How do you protect yourself? Well, here are some tips. Number 1, hire a real estate lawyer who specializes in power sales. Not just any lawyer, someone who's done this before, knows what questions to ask. So they will spot things like property tax arrears, second mortgages, construction liens, court judgments, condo fee arrears. And the other questions that they want to ask is request payoff statements and negotiate proper protections into the contract. Number 2, getting a full title search is standard practice in Ontario. Your lawyer will take care of all of that. But here's the thing. Some risks don't show up on that search. Some claims don't have to be registered to be enforced, like yours truly, CRA, like unpaid HST or payroll deductions, certain municipal fines or obligations, and potential fraudulent conveyance claims. That's why you also want to ask your lawyer about title insurance, and specifically whether it includes protection against CRA, tax liens, or unregistered claims. Not every policy includes that on default. But in a power sale, it's a layer of protection you absolutely want. And just a disclaimer, in Ontario, there are actually 4 main title insurance companies that are licensed and widely used in residential real estate transactions. These insurers work through your real estate lawyer. You don't typically buy title insurance directly. Each company offers slightly different protections and endorsements, so it's so important to have your lawyer request coverage that is protecting you in your situation. So don't cheap out on a lawyer here. Number 3, ask about unpaid taxes, utility bills, and municipal fines, and get proof they're all been cleared. You can do some of these yourself. I often find myself, when dealing with a power sale, calling the hot water tank, furnace, and AC rental companies to see if there are any rent-to-own items on the property, because those can come with some really high monthly fees. Fact-finding is so crucial here. And don't forget, get a home inspection. Always get a home inspection. I think that's a pretty obvious one. Okay, so is a power sale a bad idea? Not always. Some people have scored some serious wins, but you need to go in with your eyes wide open. Power sales can be a legit opportunity, but if you don't read the fine print or check under the hood, you can buy someone else's financial wreck. So don't be that buyer and don't end up on the 6 o'clock news. And don't forget to watch our next video. I'm breaking down the actual court case where CRA took priority over a bank on a mortgage payout. It's wild, and it actually shows you exactly how high the stakes can be and how much power the CRA actually has. So, did this video help clarify a little bit more on the risks of power sales? If it did, hit subscribe. And if you have any questions regarding the Greater Toronto Area, reach out. We would love to hear from you. Until then, stay well, stay protected, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.